Joel Dean's story fascinates me. He grew up in rural Jamaica, helping his dad fix TVs and radios, transitioned through every era and tech, and is now building an AI mental wellness app while representing the Caribbean at Davos with Bill Gates and Sam Altman in the same room. This conversation that we had today covers his decision to leave the Jamaica job market, his experience working on apps with over 100 million downloads, and why he believes Caribbean developers have unique advantage in the global AI space. Joel breaks down his philosophy of meeting AI models where you are at instead of pretending to be somebody else, how he leverages LLMs from everything from fitness to business development, and why he's obsessed with Twitter for staying on the cutting edge. With this episode, you're going to walk away with his exact approach to engineering luck, understanding why impact opens doors to rooms with global leaders, and a framework for transitioning from corporate work to entrepreneurship using AI as your leverage. You're not going to want to miss this one, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is day is it for you. I'm here on the pod with the Joel Dean, founder, like amazing cracked developer, global at this point. He's bigger than Jamaica, big global icon at this point. Love to see it.
Appreciate it,
No, man, you're doing some amazing work on LinkedIn, very inspiring content. He's here to talk to us about Joyful and how he's leveraging AI as well within the app that he has, Joyful, as well as his own personal workflows. Joel, could you tell us more about yourself, please?
Yeah, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I've been writing code for like the past 16 years.
Boy, I wasn't even alive.
Yeah, I'm just 32. I'm not that old. Yeah, so started writing code at around 16 and really just enjoyed just building apps. By the time I finished college, at around 20, I was just like, okay, I want to do something exciting with life. And when I surveyed the Jamaican job market, the salaries kind of sucked. So I was just like,
wow.
I was like, yeah, I am not gonna
trust
be
me,
working here.
As a young entrepreneur, previous corporate guy, I must tell you, it still sucks. They've lived up.
I understand why. It's a developing country, and a lot of the economy doesn't necessarily leverage a lot of technology in mission critical parts of the companies, so that they can actually rectify the amount of money that we need to be paid. So and also, they are probably scared too. The biggest challenge is that the salaries I've been paid are the salaries of CEOs. So imagine paying the engineers the same amount as the CEO. That would really cause some challenges in the economy.
Hey, man, we could not be having that. That's crazy. That could be an entire episode on itself. I could talk about. It's like sometimes it's funny. Like it's fun, just random segue. Somebody came to me recently within the last few months, and they wanted me to build an app for them. I gave them a pretty standard price, like based on what they wanted, and they're just like, "Yo, why is it so expensive?" And I was like, "Come on, man, come on."
Like, listen, like if you're not coming to me with $100K to work on an app, like don't even come in my inbox, man. Like it's serious.
It's very serious. It's very, very serious. And I think through these videos and through these talks, I want to definitely open people's eyes up to like what's possible as well.
Yeah.
So first of all, I need to know why tech. Like you could have gone into bodybuilding. I've seen the photos on your LinkedIn, man, and I know the bench, the deadlift is at 3 plates at this point.
No, man, listen. The reason why tech, I think, so tech for me is more than just like a career path. It's like a way of life. And just growing up, I grew up in one of the rural part of Jamaica, Hayes, Clarendon. So around 10-15 minutes out of Maypen. And just growing up, my dad used to be a technician. So in the early 2000s, he was like fixing the TVs and like the fridges and radios and stuff for people. So I grew up literally in a workshop. Then when folks stopped needing TVs to be fixed, there was a transition to like personal computers. when Microsoft really took over, and then the Caribbean started to get a taste of that. So that was when I would have to drive to Kingston to Marketplace to Incomex, and Incomex was at another location, but we'd come to Kingston, buy the parts for like, the system unit, RAM, everything, and like build units for people. So we'd buy the keyboards, mouse, ask them what configuration they would want. But the coolest part was some days people would come in for computer repairs, and they would come with like, in those days it was like 20 gig hard drive and like 128 megabyte or RAM, something like that. And we'd be trying to fix the computer, and probably like halfway through they would call my dad and be like, hey, you know what, Mr. Dean, we just want a new computer. So then I would get to keep that, and I would like take parts from the motherboard and like put them in my computer. So that's kind of like how I started loving tech. And then the satellite dish era came. So as you can see, like I've been transitioning through every single era of tech with my dad. So when Dish Network and DirecTV came, like got popular in Jamaica, we learned how to build the satellite dishes. So we were like building them, installing them for people. We had like the literal LNBs, so that gets the signal. We knew all the transponders for all the different satellites. So we would like position them in the sky, and I would be holding the signal meter to see if the transponder was giving the right signals, writing down with satellites. We have ensured that we're capturing signals for to get like HBO, etc. Like really, really hardcore stuff, man. So that's my love. Like I did all of that growing up, and then by the time I was finished with high school, I was just like, okay, I'm bored. What's the next level? And then they were like, oh, making the apps. They're like, oh, you can format a computer, you can put Microsoft Word on, you can do all of that, but everything that you have been doing up to this point is powered by programming. So I was like, okay, I need to become a programmer then to see what lies beyond everything I was experiencing.
I have to know, was it difficult to set up those satellites? Like, that's so cool. Like I always say,
yeah, man. Like it took a lot of effort, man. But after a while, we kind of gained the skills, So we had even like different size satellite dishes. So we started out probably like, some people wanted like a 6-foot dish, a 9-foot, a 12-foot. The bigger the satellite, the better the signal quality. Because DirecTV was mainly designed for like the North American market. But if you got a satellite dish big enough, you could actually capture the signal. Because in the US, there are these tiny dishes, these really small ones.
Right.
Because they are the satellite is pointed directly down to them. But luckily in the Caribbean, the signal kind of spreads, so we would actually capture it. Yeah, man.
Because growing up as well, I came on the tail end of that era, like the dish, like some mass. I would see like going through, like I remember back in the day. Well, hear me now. Back in the day, like there would be I'm talking like some huge discs on like person's houses.
Yeah, man. We had two 12-foot satellite dishes.
Like when you said 12-foot, I'm like, that's insane. I can't even manage.
They're big, man.
Huge concept.
There's this technology, I'm not sure if you know about it, called C-band.
No, I don't know.
So there are two types of satellites. There's the ones that are like mesh-based that you can kind of see through. And then there's like aluminum, like just these solid ones.
Okay.
So the C-band satellites, they would actually move to the position of different signals. Yeah. And those actually work like in any weather as well, because those signals were analog. So the C-band satellite dishes are analog signals, and then the aluminum, like the more modern ones, were digital signals. So the rain and cloud and stuff would
not affect it.
Yeah, man. So it was really fun.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine. That sounds fun. That's definitely the complete opposite of my like come up, because when I was going into tech, all I did was software. Like all I've ever known is software. Even till this day, like if anything happens to my computer, I have to like call my friend and be like, "Hey, bro, please, my hard drive says this thing." Like, not good at hardware at all. Man.
Interestingly, I think the sad part about transitioning into software engineering world is that I kind of gave up like Windows because I'm now on Mac. What? Because what happened was I when I started working, I arrived at a company, one of my first jobs, and they were just like, "Hey, Joel, like our entire tooling infrastructure is on Mac, so you have to get rid of your Windows computer. So
you can't.
And then yeah, man. And as I started progressing, like even by the time I got to WordPress, they don't use Windows at all. Like all of the tooling is Mac based. And then when I kind of started spending a lot of time on GitHub as well, I realized that most of the developer tooling is more optimized for Mac. So I was like,
yeah, like what I'm finding now, especially is like a lot of things are just Linux based. Like a lot, like it's getting to the point where I'm even considering going over to Linux because of how difficult a lot of the Windows setup has been. But
exactly. So yeah, Mac/Linux, basically the same kind of runtime to some extent. Some of the tooling really works across the board.
You had mentioned before about school.
Yeah,
I had a question like right before you came out to the call. I had a wonderful question for you, so I'm happy you brought it up. In this age and era that we're going through with like a lot of AI and like you can learn a lot online, especially as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that the future Joels and Johns who are listening to this need a degree now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say that?
So the reason why I say this is in college, like I got a lot of A's because I love getting A's, but but it wasn't really like my core focus. I'm just good at like absorbing information and doing assignments and stuff, and hanging around with other friends who do assignments well, who do them for me sometimes. But like I think the core thing I got from college that really changed the trajectory of my life were the friends. Like my friends from college, they're still my good friends now. They really motivated me because back when I went to NCU, Microsoft's Imagine Cup was the biggest thing, and NCU kept on winning multiple years in a row. So I kind of went into that school and kind of like met like software stars. Like these guys were like brilliant, and I don't know what it was, but like these guys, I guess because they were just in contribution, have nothing to do. They just hacked away and they knew so much. They were like the modern day LLMs back then. Like they were able to print out code, man. They were very, very good. So remember, I was younger because I kind of started college young. So I started at 16. So these were people who were like 18, 19. They had a lot more years on me. So I kind of had so much to learn just coming into their space. So leaving college, I entered competitions. I won competitions with them. They were my mentors. So we created startups together. So without them, if I had just finished high school and was at home, I wouldn't have had that like structured curriculum that would allow me to like learn to be disciplined. That's what college teaches you, to be disciplined. Of course, you can find all the coursework online, but you need to show up to class on time. You need to do your assignments. You need to figure out how to write well and communicate your ideas well. You learn about teamwork, working on teams. You learn a bunch of foundational knowledge that all of that builds up the hierarchy that you will need to operate in complex companies and environments when you leave that space. So that's the reason why I say go to college. On the flip side, if you can't go to college, you can still all learn that self-paced, but you need so much more discipline. Locking your phone in the other room so TikTok doesn't distract your discipline,
that one is serious. No, I asked because I agree. Like I feel like that first degree that sets the pace. It sets the foundation. I was reading some articles the other day where persons were on Twitter and some articles where people were like, oh, with AI you don't need any more degrees. And I was like, no, because it's so funny you said it. Like so much of the guys who I hanged out with in uni, like they're the main friend group,
Exactly. And it's very important. Like I really connected deeply with my wife in college. Like you meet. No, it's serious. No, it's not serious. Like, if you don't, a lot of people meet their partners in college because when you leave college and you come out into the working world, everyone spreads apart. But in college, you get this large group of people who come to classes every day, this big campus, So I feel like it's really important for a lot of people to really develop both professionally and personally. And I think engineers sometimes ignore the personal development side of things, but it's very, very important to succeed in the world to kind of have that holistic kind of development. But yeah, if you can't attend college, it's still fine because now is the best. Interestingly, most of what I've learned, I did not learn in college. Like I'm self-taught. Like I taught myself. I can proudly say that I'm an Android expert and one of the best at Android engineering in the world because I've done Android all the way up to the highest ranks in Silicon Valley in tech. I've gone to Android conferences in London, Italy, Dubai, Boston, NYC, Cali, all over the place. So and that knowledge, I literally had to live on GitHub to gain that knowledge and follow the best engineers every single day, watching everything they tweet, going through every repo. No LLMs then. I was in repos I didn't even understand for like months trying to learn before like getting a handle on it,
No, I agree wholeheartedly. It's how I learned a lot of the AI knowledge that I have now. Like I just had to even though the AI knowledge that I know now, a lot of it could have been learned, through large language models, but no, I was in the docs. Like for me, I was like, I'm head deep always in documentations and trying to understand. Oh, it's a must. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trailing back a bit to the university thing. I'm a bit jealous. I'm a COVID baby, so you have to understand that I had zero. I had one semester, and then there was this yard for 2 years.
Oh gosh, man! Like I really feel it for people who had to live through that era, because it's tough, man. You lose so much that it's just hard to like regain,
I miss my wife. That's what I'm hearing. It's crazy.
Exactly, man. Serious things.
Serious things, man. Mrs. White is out there right now wondering what happened.
What happened,
man? Going back more on you, because before you had mentioned you're at WordPress and before you were at another like company. Like, take me through your like career trajectory, right? Because so like, where did it start? Where did it end? Because I don't know your timeline,
From no problem, man.
Like the corporate are you still in corporate? Like what's going on in that regard,
Yeah. So like fresh out of college, I did like 3 months at the university as an engineer working with my friends on like the NCU. They have like a learning management system. So I worked on that for 3 months. Then had some like health issues and it just wasn't working out. So I took like probably like a year and a half, like away from the work world and just kind of just spend time reading up or just growing as an engineer. So after that moment, I did like some small projects as like just a consultant. Then I got like a short-term gig with a company in Las Vegas for around 3 to 4 months, building mobile live streaming platforms. So that was an interesting exercise because now I utilize all of that knowledge I learned about WebRTC and just live streaming. I think it's RTMP or something. I don't remember the streaming protocol. I utilize all of that now to build, to leverage like real-time API from OpenAI with WebRTC for like live conversations in my app. So from there, I went to my first big gig in North Carolina. So this was Device Magic. This is all remote, by the way. I've never left Kingston. So yeah, I've been living in Jamaica the entire time. Lived in Mandeville first and then moved to Kingston. So worked there for like around 2 years and they were like a data collection platform. And I built their Android applications serving over 500,000 downloads. I was their main Android engineer. Did that for around 2 years. Then went to another data collection company in San Diego called ODK. Was there for almost a year. Also as a core Android engineer, building out their data platforms as well. These are companies that were serving like Google, Amazon, Apple, a bunch of different larger companies. So after that, took a year off, and one of my friends owned a car dealership, so we were like selling cars. Yeah,
It's like the random side quest.
Yeah, man, just a random side course. Just was like, yo, can't bother with code no more. Just want for day in the streets a little bit. So that was fun. Helped him and
quick question before we continue on that. Was that the reason why you took the break was because of burnout? Like, how did you manage that?
Man, it was kind of a little bit of burnout, man. Like, it was just like, yo, being an engineer is one of the toughest things, especially when you love it, because, you're trying to just be so dedicated. And I was working really hard to just be like at the top, like really pushing. But again, when you're pushing so hard, then you also have to balance like just that personal side. And I was just like, man, I was tired. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just take up a break. So I think I took probably like a year off, just.
And sold cars.
Yeah, man, just hustling and getting cars from Japan and all of that stuff. And then I feel like after a while I got bored of that. So then I was like, okay, I need a job again. So that's when I started applying, and I saw the automatic job, the WordPress job, and I applied, and I was like, wow, this is my golden ticket into a real big tech company. Like, when I leave this place, I'll be a monster. Like, I know they're operating at scale, and I applied, I got in, and that was like the start of the client, because that's when the real fun began, man. Like, we did some real engineering work, and I was able to bounce around so many teams. Like, I worked on WordPress, on the Android, and the Android code base, iOS to some extent, React Native, the React team, world-class engineers from all across the globe at that company. But yeah, I did that for almost 5 years. And then I was just like, I kind of settled there. But then after that, I was just like, I've been almost 10 years in the game. And I was really scared to miss the AI wave, like super scared. Like, I'm like, this is the moment for generational wealth, people. Like, if you stay very close to these models, you can create some wealth. Like, even if it's like 0.001% of like the global pie, you can still be happy in life. So I was just like, yeah.
You wouldn't even believe how happy I am to say that. Like, I have the same sentiment. Like, I'll be honest, like, I was given like a few opportunities to, like, go back to school and for instance, even go back into like a more traditional job. But I was I just couldn't fathom doing it as a result of just where I'm at, how perfectly positioned I'm at right now. Like, in this space, like, I can just really zone in, build these tools, leverage the workflows, and go all in.
And be on top of like every single time there's a shift, a new model comes out, and there's an unlocking capabilities, I jump on it. So like right now, I'm pushing Cloud Code to the limit. Opus 4.1, I'm on the Cloud Code max plan, like no games,
Nice.
I'm full speech to text. That's my core workflow.
Wow,
yeah, that's my specialty, man. That's my specialty. Because what happened is I spent so much time working on the WordPress teams, like doing a lot of technical communication with engineers. Had to write like really detailed PR descriptions, a lot of tests, a lot of QA work. So because of that, like just the technical lingo of anything mobile or like just application lifecycle architecture, I kind of have that down. So like speaking to the model is like fun. I just turn on my speech to text and I just reel out, my feature, like my feature proposals, and I work with the model until I get a really high quality plan, and then I just let it rip,
that is, because I'm actually now on the speech to text wave. Let me tell you something, game changer.
It's game changer, man.
I used to have struggles. I've struggled in and out with carpal tunnel. So
same, just bro. To be able like to I had a serious. I had to get this like
the foam
support.
padding.
I have a bunch of stuff in like a closet over here for like support. I have like a massage gun right here.
Just for the race?
Yeah, man, but it has gotten better. Like, it hasn't flared up in years, to be honest.
Right.
Because once I got an ergonomic mouse. So the mouse, I got an ergonomic mouse, the ergonomic mouse pad, and an ergonomic keyboard. So once I got all of those things, and then with the massage gun, like, I use that as well. I've been good. But again, with speech to text now I definitely don't have to worry.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, bro, I don't type. I'm serious.
Like,
I'm done.
Yeah, I stopped typing. Like, I use this app called Whisperflow. That's mine.
Yeah. So I don't use Whisperflow. I used to use Super Whisper, and I know this one called Aqua.
I've heard of. I saw it, man, but it's Mac only. That's what I'm talking about. It's Mac only. It's Mac only.
Yeah,
the same thing I was talking about, man. It's Mac only.
Yeah. Aqua is great, man. Man. It's good, so I love it. So I just.
Are you like an Apple salesman? You trying to convince me? What's going on here?
Again, I'm gonna be real. The proof is in the pudding. Mac gets everything first, and like the engineers always. I still feel like a lot of Mac products. Like, the apps are more polished because most of the professionals use Mac, and that's just the truth in the tech space, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I've come to notice as well. Like, I really want Raycast, man. Like, I just really want to have like an insane clipboard, because I do a lot of like moving of stuff on within my workflows a lot of the time.
I used to create a bunch of Alfred. You know Alfred? I used to do a lot of Alfred workflows. Yeah,
like, I
used to have a lot of clipboard stuff where I would, for example, when I was like writing PR descriptions, I would like take a bunch of screenshot URLs into my clipboard, and then it would just output like them nicely formatted in a side by side.
That's crazy.
Just a bunch of transformations. To be honest, I don't use a lot of them now because of LLMs, but I think I want to have like some more AI-based workflows. But I haven't created a lot of them as yet because I'm still working on getting Joyful to scale. Because once it starts to scale, then the real AI fun begins. Because I want to create, I already have notes, a fully run AI company with agents talking to each other, marketing agents, customer support agents, engineering agents, working in unison, having conversations in Slack, just toiling away. While I'm just chilling out in, over at ACR on the beach or something,
No, like, you wouldn't believe how I actually have this exact same goal, but not so much for mobile apps. I want to have like completely automated, like, service-based business where like clients can come on and they get like almost a productivized offer from me in that sense, like, and they just go off with it, and then I offer like monthly maintenance. So that's what I'm shooting for right now. So it's like I have like that same vision. Like, I want to wake up in the mornings, like, having come from like kickboxing training, open my Slack and see my marketing agent, Mr. White, so we have today's content script for you ready, and I'm just doing my thing. And HR is telling me that one of the chatbots was disrespectful at lunch, and I'm like, oh guys, come on, like, that's what I want.
No, that's what I want to create too. Like, I don't know, like, I find it really fun to actually create a whole like agentic team. What I've realized about agents, though, is engineers have the best opportunity with agents, because most agentic like companies are like overselling.
100%.
A lot of them are going to under deliver, and it's because of one core reason. LLMs take a lot of work to get reliable output. You have to have a deep domain-specific understanding of what you want to get done. And then the parts that need to be dynamic, you still have to figure out ways to create evals around them to actually test that, to ensure that it's meeting a particular quality bar. And most importantly, LLMs work best for manual flows that you have done a couple times, that you can provide high quality, few shot, examples, so that you can actually produce results. So like when I see most agentic tools, only a few I'll play around with, but I haven't played around with a lot of them. Automation tools, because I'm just like, I know for a fact that I could just write some scripts and it's done anyway.
That's honestly, you touched on so many points there, and there's like even more points from before. But just to talk on that one, that last one right there, especially, I've been dabbling deep into that N8 and a lot of that like automation stuff, like the gum loops, the Zapiers, the makes. And let me tell you something, I would rather just write a script. Like I should.
Bridget, it's a lot of work, man, and I feel like the biggest challenge with those tools is that I don't want anything that's too UI heavy. Like I want tools that are just context friendly. Because if they're context friendly, then the LLM can ingest them and really understand the work, And yeah.
I was gonna ask you, how have you been able to leverage any of them within your workflows? Like, because I know before you said you haven't done a lot, but based on the small amount or the amount that you've done.
So to be honest, I haven't really leveraged any of them because, to be honest, I haven't really. So my biggest challenge is I don't trust AI systems to produce results without my input, and then to leverage human in the loop, I literally I'm just like, okay, might as well I just create like ChatGPT projects or a Claude project with the context. So I'll create these projects and I'll have context in these projects that allow template-based workflows for things I need to do. But again, what I'm doing now, I'm going to leverage them, but the focus I have now is really just code and marketing. So I literally spend all my time either writing code or learning the TikTok algorithm. That's basically my what my time is split. So I don't have enough time to like go down the rabbit hole of building out some of these things I really want to build. What I have built though so far is like post generators. So I built this really cool tool where it fetches like popular TikTok accounts and it scrapes them and it looks at the images, extracts the content from it. It sorts the post by most popular, looks at the comments, a bunch of stuff, and it utilizes that for inspiration. And then I generate posts based on that. So I just have a canvas and I like generate the post and I transform it to like, LinkedIn or the different post sizes for the different networks. So I do that. I also created like a video generator.
Really?
It's like a similar concept. But it's an interesting video generator because what I did was I rewrote some parts of my app's experience in HTML, and then I render the frames and convert it into a video. But I utilize 11 labs for the user and the AI. So it's like a journaling experience, but it's like AI generated. So I build that like frame by frame because I've spent a lot of time with like FFmpeg. So I love leveraging FFmpeg to like do audio and video processing from a scripting standpoint. So that's like the most like automation stuff I've done. But my ultimate goal is to get profitable with Joyful, and then once I do that, then the real games begin because I'm going to build out a proper AI stack of like agents and stuff. And the real goal is to set up a mini data center to like create to have like I want to have a real proper setup for like local models. Just for the thing is this, right? It doesn't matter what happens with these large companies. I don't want all of my workflows running in these companies. Like like if you have a master plan to take over the world, you don't want OpenAI running evals on it, because they're going to use it. So
we can't afford that. We can't afford.
Exactly. So, but I think it's also fun. Like just actually buying hardware. I have a lot of those stuff bookmarked already, to run local models for every single thing. Vision processing for code for a bunch of different workflows. So
that is insane. I'll have but let me know. Okay, so what models do you have in mind? Like let me get into that kind of mind frame with you there, because for instance, GPT OS came out the other day.
Yeah, GPT OSS. Yeah, Quen is doing really well. I think Quen 3 coding. I think something like that.
I've been hearing news about that. So is that what you're thinking about, to have like Quen 3 code going and then you have OSS?
So exactly. So I have a bunch of just whatever model is like the best models that are running, and just depending on the kind of workload. So for example, with Joyful, interestingly, I'm utilized GPT-4o Mini for most of the workloads because the level of intelligence needed, I don't need to pay more for a more expensive model based on the tech. It's a lot of text processing. It's literally just basic conversations and a journal processing. So when I utilize GPT-4o Mini, the profit margins are really
insane.
high.
Profit margins are crazy.
Exactly.
I can imagine.
But
doesn't it have the million context window as well?
What, 4o Mini?
Yeah, does it have the million?
No, I doubt it. I think it's probably like 128K. But I just do like my own, sliding window. I just manage context and summarize. I use tick token to just measure how many tokens I think are going in for like tasks that require a lot of input in the prompt, etc. to manage.
Is it managed by any kind of vector stores in the background, any kind of retrieval to RAG?
So I'm not doing any form of retrievals
really?
yet,
Wow.
because of costs. So again, what I've realized with retrievals sometimes is that you want to be careful with retrievals because it adds latency to the app, especially when you're chatting back and forth. And what I've also realized is that for the app I'm building, retrievals, I have to be very careful with them because they could mess up the experience. So for example, you're in Joyful and you're journaling and you're like, oh, I'm feeling really sad today. And then the app is like, oh, you're feeling sad today. I remember last week, Monday, when you were sad because your code broke and blah, blah, blah. You probably you probably didn't really want that to be retrieved.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. So what I've developed is this model called this concept called like kind of implicit retrievals, where I have things in the context, but it's just lightly contextual. And sometimes retrievals are a bit more like stronger in terms of their presence in like the data, like the answer that is being generated. So for example, I think I remember seeing you build a bot for like, I think it's the laws, like legal data.
Yeah.
Those systems though require vector retrievals because that's like factual information and you're literally there for the information. But like when you're just talking to an AI back and forth about your problems, the main thing that you want is the model to be very present focused with what's really in the context window and then only pulling in the relevant things. So for that, I just have like a memory context block in the prompt and I just inject stuff that are recent. And then I tell the AI, hey, slightly reference these things. Don't overwhelm the user, like slightly reference them if necessary. And then now a more complex retrieval system with vector embeddings, I would create that after the fact because I would need to create really high quality evals to ensure that they are performing as expected in different multi-turn situations,
Yeah. So how do you okay, let's talk more about evaluation. Like how do you go about like taking like inputs to ensure that it's the right output? Like what's your evaluation framework for going about?
So my evaluation framework for evaluations, I've done more evaluation work on the WhatsApp AI government bot I'm building.
Okay.
So I built a custom evaluation tool for that. And how I go about doing evals is just looking at a lot of data. And that's the recommended standard principle based on all the interactions I'm having with folks focused on evals. When you look at a lot of data, you start to see the inputs, the prompt, and the output. So you get a bunch of different examples, you pass them through that pipeline, you look at that data, and then you do labeling. So I created like a custom labeler that I'm able to like label different inputs and outputs and prompts, etc. But the cool thing about it is it basically feeds back into a log file. so I can just go in the coding tool and just say, hey, look at that log that was just created. There is the feedback and all of the logs that are tied to that session and that particular example and like flow within the AI app. The coding agent can just debug it. So that's kind of like how I go about evals right now. Again, I have a lot of big dreams for Eval, such as leveraging things like LLM as a judge, where I'm tuning one model to utilize rubric to evaluate the operations of other models. I want to do like bias evaluation, where I pass in the same prompt to a bunch of different models and seeing if they have biases. I want to look out for things like sycophancy as well. So is the model too agreeable? And actually, running tests against. Like, I have all of those fun things I want to do, but I need to get profitable first.
Yeah. No,
Because if I get too distracted into the AI engineering, I'll go broke,
Yeah, no, trust me.
Yeah. Because
Sometimes
it's
after
really
like,
fun. Yeah, man.
wow, because you can
Yeah.
optimize almost everything. You can
Yeah, man,
optimize the
everything,
inputs.
man.
You can optimize every single stage of the
Yeah.
processing. Like sometimes I get lost in the trenches sometimes.
Exactly. And for me, what I'm waiting for is production usage. So when you have production usage, that's the best time for evals, because evals help you to tune a production system. And the most important rule is eval should never be 100% like accurate. Else that means something is wrong. It needs to be almost accurate, because no production system is perfect. Like, if you have a perfect system, something is wrong. No AI. How can an AI system be perfect? Like, it's not deterministic. Like, it's just generating random stuff all the time. There's so many different edge cases, etc. So I think about that. I also love to think about like prompt versioning as well, because as you shift a prompt, it can break how your product works in different situations. So prompt versioning, model shifts, having evals that would actually be run on every single time a model upgrade is being done, or a prompt shift is made, or the inputs are being shifted, stuff like that. So that's kind of like my high level thinking so far in that space. Building custom tools and then doing it manual first, then creating automated evals.
I love that you bring that up, like that manual process that has been like huge for me as well. Definitely taking like some input like and my required output, and then like having to get the prompt to get there. It's been, oh man. And let me tell you something about prompt versioning. Wow. Like at the start of the journey, I wish somebody told me about that, because I would change like 3 words and it would be like complete, like it'd be completely different. And it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So that's
I just
definitely
use
something.
commit history. So because I do, because of the commits, and now with Cloud Code, every time I do a piece of work, I just tell it to write a commit, and it writes a really high quality commit. So I utilize the commit history a lot for prompts. Trust me. I've had some moments where some tiny things have really like shifted functionality because of the prompt. So I don't know why people think that the models are getting smarter so that we need to prompt less. Like, every model is prompted differently. Right. Prompt engineering skills remain strong. It's like talking to a super smart physicist or a PhD person. If you don't know what you want, all you're going to say is hello. Like, you can't get any info out of them, It's the same with these models. Like, they will never, until, not with LLMs. When we discover the next architecture, that I think Jan LeCun at Metafair Labs is working on, like the next architecture of models that are just like biological in nature or something, that are just learning and growing and observing, super scary AI. Like, this version of AI is lightweight. It's not scary, man.
No, I definitely agree, because like, especially, it's non-deterministic, right? Like every single time it runs, it's gonna be different. So I mean, ultimately, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Like, you had mentioned Cloud Code before. Take me through that insane like system you have with Cloud Code going on there. Have you been able to utilize the sub agents? Like, what's going on in that regard there?
Yeah. So I wanted to test out sub agents, but I think my challenge with a lot of these, when it comes down to spinning on other agents, is that it's all about context management and focus, and also having the necessary task for things. So this is what we have to remember with these labs. Like, they're all trying to compete with each other. So I know for a fact that I was one of the first Cursor users, because when Cursor came out, I was in the initial batches of users. And when I think I started using Cursor with, I think it was GPT-4 and GPT-4 Turbo. So early days.
That's
And I
super early,
used to
man.
even talk to the founder of Cursor and everything. He would say, "Hey Joel, can I get some feedback?" They even had me on the Cursor website as like just a user giving feedback exactly. Because I was so early, man. And so I started out, with Cursor, and then as we know, things shifted from just chat based to more agentic experiences. So as we entered the agentic era, I really, really enjoyed that. The first taste of like real high quality code though for me was Cloud 3.5 Sonnet. That was a really nice model.
Yes.
I wrote some really good code with that model. And then Gemini 2.5 Pro was a really good model too. I got some good code from that model as well. But then just coming into this time period with Cloud Code, the challenges I started having with Cursor was mainly context management. I always, quality started degrading as the conversation started getting long. So it was context management challenges. Also, cost started to skyrocket.
Hey, let's not even talk about that. The
Yeah,
costs
like
are
trust me,
crazy.
and trust me, like I want to spend unlimited amounts of money on AI, but I have a wife and a son. Like I have priorities, so I have to like dial down the excitement and be like, yeah, I kind of need to like monitor this bill, especially when I was using Cursor and I turned on Opus for like 5 minutes and ran up like $25. So it's just like,
No,
nah, I'm
definitely
not going to be doing this. So, yeah.
Let me tell you, like
Yeah,
I had a same. I don't know if you're a part of that unfortunate weekend of persons when they changed the pricing model like suddenly.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I didn't jump in because I didn't trust them. I was like, this is too good to be true. I don't trust these.
Man, let me tell you, I got caught in that. I didn't even know what was going on. I just did like a few prompts with Sonnet thinking, and I saw like, oh, you've run out of credits. I was like, I did like 2 prompts. What's going on? Yeah, check my bill, and I was like, how am I gonna find the money to pay this month? And I was like what happened? So that kind of
I didn't like that. Didn't they do a refund? Because they did a refund for some
eventually,
people.
but it still didn't. It still didn't. It barely helps me.
Yeah,
so
man, that was a crazy
that was a
moment.
crazy
Because
weekend.
so what's happening in the AI industry is that so much venture capital has flooded AI companies, and now they need to make a profit. So that's why Cursor is shifting. Generating code with LLMs is expensive, but we were spoiled. Like we were paying $20 and like writing code. Like we were spoiled. So when I realized how spoiled we were, I was just like, okay, I'm fortunate to have a project I'm working on that's paying me well. So I was like, okay, based on the amount of work I need to pump out, I'll probably do Cloud Code Max $200 a month for like 3 months. Probably by next month, I can probably just downgrade. I know that even this week, I'm going to hit daily limits every single day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I needed it because I was getting anxious about like writing some code and then checking my credits and checking the bill. I was like refreshing, checking the bill because I love to use the most powerful model to write code. And I'm building an enterprise app where I need the models with the highest, extended, reasoning, thinking, and the best context models. So the best, context windows and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, totally understand. Today was I recently started going on the Cloud Code, like the hype train for sure, and I must say, phenomenal. Like,
bro,
today,
the context management of this thing. Bro, I have not had a moment where this thing has lost context. That's the reason why I love it so much. It's like I've been in a single chat for like 2 days.
That's crazy.
Because I was building out something complex, so I was in it for 2 days back and forth, and it was fine. But no, just to be safe, I just stay in a single chat for like a couple hours or so. And once I finish a feature, I either like clear the context or I compact it, or I just start a new chat.
Is there any kind of prompting techniques you use to talk to these LLMs, specifically, Opus, the Cloud 4s? There's some,
not really.
Not really.
No, bro, I just talk. All right, so this is the thing. So this is what happens with me now that I think is different. You see, because I spent so much time working with engineers at the international level, I had to be in so many technical meetings. I had to write a bunch of technical proposals that were, working at the scale of like big tech is like, it's like you're in the army for software engineers. Like they're very, very detailed, a lot of back and forth. I had, coworkers from Czech Republic, Russia, Polish guys. Like, these people are monsters. All they do is code 12 hours a day. Like, really super smart people. I had to spend so much time talking with these people at that technical level. And then because of the apps we were managing, the infrastructure, WordPress powers 145 million websites. So that's 45% of the internet. So before my code merged into that main branch, it had to go through a lot. Then when I worked on the Tumblr mobile app, the Android app, it has 100 million downloads. So I'm like tweaking performance of like the simplest, like tweaking the performance of like the news feed. I would like be tweaking such minor things from a performance standpoint. That allowed me to develop like a technical just lingo where when I'm talking to the model, it's like I'm writing a technical proposal.
Yeah, like
Because I've
every
done
single
it
time.
so many times. I've been doing it for like 5 years. So my prompting is just talking. But I do have an approach which is really like being very clear technically in terms of what I'm talking about. Like I try to give the AI as much context as possible so it doesn't have to think. And I know they're trying to push the opposite of that, but that's the reason why people get hallucinations, man. Like I know my code base inside out. Like I'm not vibe coding. Like this is real games, man. Like I have my monitor on the side and I'm reviewing the diff. So the agent is generating and I'm scrolling and I'm looking at every line, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree as well. Like that's how I operate right now. Like I'll give you an example. Like I'm trying to create like a very AI powered newsletter for myself
Yeah.
for like the company I'm launching and stuff, just to have like a frequent feed of like information about AI so persons can subscribe and be a part of it. Like today, while I was building it out, like I have two monitors, right? One monitor, I have Cloud Code blasted right here, and then on the side, I'm just reviewing. So I think now, in this new era of like this using agents, I think as we go forward, I think we're gonna be more like us coders and persons who understand the languages are gonna be more like have a more
Reviewers,
reviewer role. Yeah, the role is gonna be
and I spent a
less.
lot of time reviewing PRs. That's the main thing I did in my roles. Like a lot of time reviewing PRs. So I actually enjoy like looking at code, and I'm always just looking, and I'm just like, stupid model, look at what it missed. And I just start. What's fun for me, what I love to do though, which is really fun, I'll trigger my speech to text, and I'm like looking through the code. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking here. I see that you decided to put this button here, but that was incorrect because based on the specification, I wanted you to reference this part of the art. So I'm talking to the model as I'm looking at the code. So that makes my workflow so much easier because I'm leveraging my voice like I'm showing a coworker, and I'm looking at the code and I'm looking at the app that's running the development environment and giving like just multifaceted feedback. So by the time I finish that, I paste the output from speech to text into Cloud Code and I copy the logs. Magic after
And
words.
magic happens every time. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like similar workflow. I have a good question for you here. Like, how can persons bridge the gap? There's gonna be some persons who are a bit newer who are listening to this and are gonna be like, well, Joel, I don't have 5 years at WordPress. Well, John, I don't have 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years now of Python development. How can they bridge the gap in terms of being able to, one, chat to these models as well as we could possibly can, like how can Steve right now, who's listening to this podcast, open up Cloud Code and chat the same way we are talking to the models as well?
So again, it's literally meeting the model where you are. Like, come humble before the models.
No, that's permission to put that on a shirt. Do I have permission to put that on a shirt?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, because seriously, like, when I work with models, like, you have to just come humble at where you are, because you're literally querying real intelligence. So come at the level that you're at, because the level that you're at is fine. You don't need to be anybody else. You can learn from our experiences. The way how you use AI and how I use AI is different. But the most important thing is we're both 10x in our outputs, and that's the ultimate thing. Like, the more time you spend, and that's what I do. I was just like, okay, the more time I spend with AI, the better I'll get. So use models. There is not a day that I don't use LLMs. I use LLMs every day. Whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Claude Code, whether it's speech to text, it's an integral part of my life. If I get an injury, I'm using LLMs. Anything about my life, like, I'm all LLMs, man. Like, I'm creating protocols. Like, I'm on some fitness stuff, so I bought like a exercise bike. Then I have like a sauna right here, so I'm gonna go on the bike after this, jump in my sauna, have my massage. So I will go to the LLM. I'll be like, hey, okay, I need a protocol now. I'm gonna do a HIIT workout. Then I need a sauna recovery, and it just organizes it. So utilize it to optimize every part of your life, And then for Joyful is a mental wellness app. So I utilize that to optimize my mental health, because that's one of the most important parts of life. So leverage things, but I would say the most important thing I'll tell people, be obsessed with Twitter, with X. X is what changed my life. When I tell people and they don't really understand how, but when I started writing Android code, I didn't understand the quality bar. Like, what was the highest quality of Android code, right? And I followed around 200 Android engineers, no joke. Like, I followed every Android engineer in the industry, because I was I wanted to be really, really good. And I followed them and I read their blogs and I read like Android Weekly, all that stuff. And what happens is, all of these engineers, they're so passionate, they're always going to tweet about the right things. Yeah. So like, no, I've done the same thing with AI. I'm subscribed to a bunch of like AI Twitter lists, all of Robert Scoble's lists. I see every single thing that's happening in the AI industry. Everything, nothing misses me. It's kind of sad, but when I wake up, one of the first things I do is check my AI Twitter list, because I love it that much. It's actually fun, It's actually fun. I love to be on the cutting edge, man. I'm all in, because this is the thing that's transforming my life the most right now. It gives me the most leverage, so I'm all in,
I 100% agree with everything you said so far. Like, I don't check my phone first thing in the morning. Like, for me, I just want space first before I dive in. So I give myself
I try to create that routine, So sometimes I check it first, but once I get into like work zone, like I just sync up. I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then I prune my timeline. So for me, like, my Twitter feed doesn't really have like funny jokes and all that kind of stuff. I use TikTok for that. So all my giggles I get from TikTok and YouTube. But Twitter, I'm very, very strict. And if I see crap in my timeline, I click not interested and irrelevant. I don't even scroll past it. I'm like pruning it, because now my Twitter feed has always saved me. Like, what's crazy is I will be having a problem and I go on my feed and I see another engineer with the same problem and they have a solution. I'm like, yo. Crazy. And I'll tell my wife and she's like, yeah, because you are following all the people in the world. You AI nerds are all just tweeting around.
Dang. I mean, going back to what we were saying before, like, I want to touch base on the, how to optimize like just general life. I've started doing it lately as well. Like, I connected Cloud4 Sonnet to PubMed, because I fight, outside of coding, right? So I connected it to PubMed and I was like, yo, I want a structured program for like someone who's doing jiu-jitsu, leveraging like specific equipment, and it gave me like a full blown team that I'm following right now, and because last year competing, I unfortunately got injured, so it's like how it was able to even incorporate my injury.
Yeah. Because right now I injured my elbow over the past 3 weeks, man, and I've been like, man, I'm trying not to get depressed because I was like training so hard, about to put on a lot of mass, man, and then something happened. I have to do some physio this week, so I'm like icing it. But I went to AI with that, and it kind of gave me a protocol, recovery protocol, how to lighten the weights, to do more legs. I'm going to be doing a bit more cardio and conditioning as it heals everything. So that's the thing. Like, you have these powerful systems, man, and you can definitely just leverage them.
It's so crazy. Like it's gotten to a point where like now I'm slowly phasing out a lot of the productivity tools I've had before,
and like, that's the thing, yo. And what's interesting too is I'm heading into the era of like personal software. I've started building like a finance platform for my family, so that's the first thing I'm building. I haven't really finished it as yet because I'm working on the next release of Joyful with real-time conversation where you can talk to the AI in real time. So I'm leveraging OpenAI's stack for that. So I have to be focused on doing that. But personal software is going to be amazing. My ultimate dream right now, and I'm going to start building it probably early next year, is to build my own Jarvis. Because the tech stack is now here for it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So like just setting up a full home automation system, like you can literally do it with LLMs.
Yeah, it's actually possible now. Like if you're able to, if like that, if whatever like hardware, for instance, that you have has like an open source, you're able to connect to it via APIs.
So Home Assistant. So Home Assistant, there is an open source project called Home Assistant that has plugins for like every single smart home. Like a universal plugin for every single smart home appliance on the earth. You can just connect an LLM to that and just control everything.
Yeah, you could like hook up
water
like an
your
MCP.
plants.
That's so. I'm looking forward to seeing your Jarvis setup then.
Yeah, man, I really want to do it. It's because right now I still rent. I don't own my own house. So sometimes I go back and forth. I'm like, oh, should I do it here or should I wait until I can get a house? But I've been kind of living here at my house for a long time. So I'm like, oh, I'll probably just do it. But yeah, man, that's going to be really, really, really fun because my biggest dream, though, is to have fun with vision models. So that's the real, man.
Vision specifically for what exactly?
For video processing.
For video processing. Oh, like the FFM peg you're talking about before.
But more like along the lines of, having some cameras at stoplights that can monitor things,
I see.
But like intelligently. So imagine this, right? Say there is, this is a hypothetical scenario,
all right, I'm listening.
Hypothetical. Say, for example, someone commits a crime and they're trying to get away with things. You could just say to the AI, you could say, hey, there is a white Pro Box with license plate, 1381 FG, and it's driving. It's within this vicinity. I want you to reason through all the cameras and try to figure out where it is. So with that, you have the AI now generating a bunch of possible paths and like trying to look at the different cameras to figure out where that car is. And based on those paths, it knows how to, leverage, like recognition to like spot the license plate, like spot behavior. We could even say, hey, tell us if the car stops and someone jumps out, so that you can give those kind of prompts. I love those kind of high quality prompts because I've played around with a lot of them with like Gemini 3.5 Pro.
What was the experimentation like? Were you able to like identify particular things within like scenes? Or
anything? Man, you can. Yeah, you can identify things in scenes. I even tried putting in like a school challenge quiz episode.
Really?
And asking it which team won, and it was able to like keep track of the conversation to figure out who won. So I really love like video processing because I find it really cool, especially because it's what people kind of fear the most because of the TV shows, the movies and all these Terminator
it's funny
don't
you
remember
bring
the
it. I was
name of the other
literally
one.
about to ask you, like,
Yeah.
how do you think persons are gonna react to like them being scanned and like, you know, like them being
I'm not
surveillance?
necessarily gonna build it. Like
Okay,
I
but
probably won't build it.
it was
But
hypothetical,
it's hypothetical. But at the
right?
end of the day, like, bro, this is already happening. Like, think
For
about it.
sure.
Like, if you were the NSA or FBI, etc., like an AI models come on, where are you gonna connect them?
Immediately to vision, like
Immediately to digital, to
immediately to
cameras,
vision,
etc.
immediately.
Like, this is happening right now. They're not gonna really make a public release and warn their enemies about it. Like,
They're not gonna open source it. They're not gonna open
yeah, they're not
source
gonna
it.
open source it. The models are capable of doing this stuff. So I like it though because of how once you can do those kinds of processing, you are now able to create more powerful systems that are able to leverage multimodality to monitor different kinds of trends. So imagine a model that is watching TikTok videos and spotting certain viral moments, etc., and it's able to report on that because it understands the video.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
I'm really trying to hammer home like that, like leveraging large language models for marketing flows. I think that that's like a huge unlock because of it's so huge. Because if you're able to, because not only do we have like we're now in this era now where there's like websites like Hagen where it can clone you. There's 11 labs that can clone your voice. So we're at this kind of this like I wouldn't say almost baby stages where it's like you can now be kind of separate from the content and have like a workflow going generating
Man, there
content
is.
for you.
So
It's like
I tried that for a while, but the big pushback is even though the workflows I was coming up with were really high quality, I realized that my personality still shines more than AI. So what I realize is that sometimes AI still struggles with like following instructions well, especially when you want your personality to shine through and when you think you have your personality as like a core strength, you know? So I did do a lot of AI generated content and I had some workflows, but then like on TikTok, I kind of just started talking and using my face because it just felt more relatable. But before I did that, like I would still use AI to like ideate, etc. So what AI will also do is allow you to even still be more authentic because you can still set up workflows and ideas and concepts and then you deploy videos. So for example, I posted for all of July and I got my first viral video August the 1st.
well done, man. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. So I made a video about my pothole app and fixing my Porsche after it got damaged, and it went viral on TikTok. It's now sitting at 241,000 views, you know? And I have a bunch of other videos, one at probably like 20 something thousand, 30,000. So I spent a lot of time just like learning the algorithm, learning how to edit videos well, how to communicate well. Because that's the other thing, like, so you see where I'm going? Like I'm balancing. Because without the marketing, what I've realized is a lot of AI engineers who have a lot of potential will starve if they don't learn marketing.
100%.
Because what will happen is the people on TikTok, the apps that are being marketed a lot of them are vibe coded, like really simple apps. But these people are in front of an audience and learning what the audience wants. So that's why they're printing cash, you know?
Easy. It's like never before has it ever been this easy to kind of like go from idea to like execution. Like it's crazy.
And even for my app, I love it a lot, but within the last couple of months, like a ton of clones, like similar apps have spun up.
Really?
It's easy to build apps. Of course, all of them won't be as high quality. I have over 12 years of like international senior mobile experience, but that doesn't really matter. Like someone else will build an app and people will still pay. So what matters is getting in front of people. So studying the algorithms and understanding them. So that's what I've been doing, like really spending time understanding TikTok. I kind of understand the X algorithm, but I don't really want to go viral on it. It's more important for me to be more professional for now, until I'm ready. I like LinkedIn just for like the professional side of things too. But TikTok is where the real fun is at. So because I'm building a consumer app, I have to market there. If I was building a SaaS, I would use X, LinkedIn, and Reddit.
Well, we could actually have an entire day discussion about Reddit. I'm slowly getting on that Reddit
Yeah,
board
Reddit
now.
is a great platform, but you have to be patient. So I haven't gone deep into Reddit because one of the main things I've learned over the years, I think as I've learned a lot, I've also kind of narrowed down the knowledge and just like my approach, which is focus. Focus is extremely important. You have to focus on what you want, you know? So if you're just trying to do everything, be a jack of all trades, like you won't really get anywhere. Like, for example, right now I'm working on Joyful, and that's my core thing. And I could be building 10, 12 different apps. But for me right now, that is not going to work for me. I could be posting on all platforms, but I focused on TikTok and I went viral because I was zoned in where it was all that was consuming me. So I was trying Reddit a bit, and then I realized it didn't have all my focus. So I was just like, okay, let's rest it for a while and then figure it out afterwards. You know?
Yeah, that was good. Like I love your idea, like your iteration process. Like you just kept trialing and erroring.
Yeah, man. You have to keep trying. You know,
Yeah,
same with the jobs, bro. I applied to probably over 100 jobs before I got 4 jobs in my career, 4, and that's all I needed because that spans several years. You know,
Exactly.
But like being able to take like rejection, it's a skill. Dealing with negativity too is a skill I'm still learning because I'm pushing myself out more on social media.
Yeah.
And I know that I know the real controversy is gonna come when I start really pushing AI. Because a lot of Jamaicans they don't understand AI to appreciate its power. Like they kind of see it as more destructive than helpful, you know? And I have to communicate that, but there will be pushback and I will be patient to educate and receive that feedback. But because I am the bearer of the AI greatness, of how great AI is, I have to take the pushback as well. Like, oh, someone came in my comments and like, oh, you're trying to replace our jobs. You know?
Yeah. How do you think we can reach those people? Like, do you think it's like through education or even meeting them where they're at? Like how do you think we can like position ourselves to help out? Because I want to now go ahead and like create content like outside of these interviews and like some long form stuff as well. And I was thinking like, what do people like want to hear? You know, so do you find out in your experience like is that like education that they're missing out, or like to show that it's not gonna replace their jobs for now, but like you know, like where is it that we can meet them?
How you can meet them is just by sharing your experience. And that's what I'm doing with my TikTok profile right now. So just sharing your experience, but not only sharing your experience, sharing the capabilities of AI. So I showcase like using Cloud Code, and I'm going to be showcasing more of Joyful now as I launch this new version because it's going to have real time, you know, the real time conversation where I can hold my phone up and I'm like talking to a real AI system. So they'll be able to just see that in like practical ways. So it's literally, think about it. A lot of people fear what they don't understand.
Exactly.
Like I understand LLMs, I understand the architectures. Like I'm telling you, most times I'm here coding and I'm cussing the model out, bro. I'm like, yo, this is crappy output. Like, why did you do this? Like, I'm so annoyed. I'm like, I'm probably impressed by a model for like a couple days before I really push it to the limit and I start to see the cracks in its intelligence. So then I know, okay, I need to probably. I still haven't gotten a model that's really feels like super intelligent, like blowing my socks off. Like I still haven't had that experience with a model as it. Like Opus 4.1 is great, GPT-5 is okay, but a really, really just intelligent model that is just really good at just ingesting, I would say, like, say it could ingest like 10, 50 projects, just high quality conversations with near accuracy, you know, like a 10 million tokens. Like when we get to a 10 million token model, that's when we start to have fun because we can throw everything in, and if a needle in the haystack test is run, like we're still gonna get good results, you know.
I couldn't even 10 million context window. That's
Yeah,
crazy to
man.
think about, because I mean but then how would you account for context rot, man? Because I mean, after a while, I mean, you know, like just like any like human, right? Like how we're
I get you, but how I think about it is this, right? How I account for it is through architecture. So I have a really large code base for the WhatsApp AI project because I did all the works, you know, scraping, you know, data sanitization, um, vector embeddings, then creating a whole retrieval layer, web search, PDF processing, you know, the bunch of stuff. So I have a whole RAG layer. Then I have an enterprise form management system that can automate government processes as well. That's spinning up browser-based instances and a full-fledged AI automation engine for that. That's connected to WhatsApp. It's a very complex project, but because I'm utilizing models that have great context windows and then coding agents that know how to search the code base well, I am able to handle that project well. So how you kind of account for this is not really throwing random things in it because it's still going to get confused, but it widens the size of the code base that you can throw in, because now you can have larger, you can have a whole module in the context window instead of a couple files, and it's still having just a high quality experience because it's still focused.
Yeah, definitely, man. I would love a 10 million context window. That would be crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like
It's coming though. It's coming, bro. Like AI will never stop. Like we're on, the race has started and it's gonna just keep getting better and better. So that's the reason why I want to create. That's the reason I'm happy I've created an AI app, because I want to be able to just go into my code base and change a one line, change a model, test the prompt, and if the prompt still works and the results are higher quality, I just get that gain, you know.
Yeah.
So
You've been
that's the
such a
power
good
of AI.
salesman, Joe. You've convinced me now to not only convert to Mac, but now to see if I can go build an app now. This is amazing.
No, because yo, listen, with your skills, all right. So let me explain to you what's happening now, right? I saw it happen to a Jamaican developer recently. Like he went viral on X. I remember what he was posting about. I think he was convex. He's building like
Oh,
a
you
document
mean
base.
yeah.
Yeah,
I had him on. I had him on.
exactly.
That's Raheem Gordon.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He went viral, bro. Like this has always happened. I've gone viral on X multiple times. Even one of my posts, Elon commented on, like, we now live in an era where you can go viral. There are no borders when it comes out to tech. So if you can build something, even with all your skills, build even just one thing that's high quality, that solves a itch, that does something that you like, and put a paywall on it and plug it as you're making content. That's it. Because at the end of the day, the world, because AI is so exciting, people will pay for stuff from anybody. And it's easier to sell things that are more SaaS based or like consumer based, like I'm selling a mental wellness journal, because you can just get people to click a button and they will just pay you if it's high quality. And then with AI, I wouldn't be able to build this up without AI. It's so much work. Even the project I built, the WhatsApp AI system, madness, bro. It's a lot of work. I would have taken a whole team. I would be a manager by now. I was literally going to transition into the management track because coding was getting really draining and I was burnt out from typing. I would spend 8 hours in a day chasing one bug bridge, one tiny line change, because I'm working in legacy code, millions of lines of code. Remember WordPress has been around for like 17 years or 20 years.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so looking through all of that code by myself, no LLMs, it was tiring. And then GPT-4 came around, and when I saw GPT-4, I was like, I'm good. My career is good. Thank you so much to
You're
the
like,
AI
finally.
gods.
You're like, finally. I had that. Oh, so I was gonna ask you, was that your like aha moment with AI?
Yeah. GPT-4.
Yeah.
GPT-4 is a model that scared me. Like,
Really?
because they hyped it up too much, man. Like,
Fair.
they hyped it up like it was literally going to replace us. Like, people The people are genuinely scared of the capabilities because that was the first true coding model. GPT 3.5 is what really launched that GPT out there. But when 4 came, that was the first time we were looking at the output from AI models and we were like, okay,
something's here.
This is some good code that I would have written. After 16 years of experience, I would have written this. And a model was just printing it in like seconds, you know?
Trust me, I had actually, it's funny, I had my aha moment with 3.5. I remember very vividly when it came out, and I was at data analysis, and I had a task to do. By the end of the work day, the management was just like, "Oh, we need these graphs to showcase to the stakeholder," and I was like, I wonder if ChatGPT could do this for me. So I went in, and best believe by lunch, it was done. Like I was like. And ever since that day, like I was able to just produce like a volumetric amount of code because I mean, and that was precursor. So I was like copying and pasting. I was like,
I did some copy, a bit of copy and pasting too. But it was still fun. I think I started with probably GPT 2.5 or 2.0 with Jasper.
Really?
With Jasper. So Jasper had early access to OpenAI's model before OpenAI launched ChatGPT. So I was going viral on Twitter by generating tweets before people knew about AI. And that was a really fun time because at that time it wasn't really that strong at following like instructions, but it was really good at like taking an example and producing something that looked similar. So I was like copying other people's tweets. There was this product called Tweet Hunter, and I was like organizing tweets for the week and like posting them on LinkedIn. I was going viral all the time, man. And then ChatGPT came out, and then my friends started trolling me. They're like, you were using AI all this time.
AI. Secrets come to light. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I have a question for you now. Like, if you have any do you have any recommendations for the future Joels and Johns coming up, listening to this, wanting some advice and inspiration? What do you have to say to them?
Well, I think the main thing that I have to say to them is that like passion is extremely important in whatever you're doing. You have to choose something that you're passionate about because passion will take you through the toughest days. Even though I've been writing code for so many years and I have so much like international experience and, I still have tough days. Sometimes, like today is a tough day for me because someone was trying to log into my Outlook account, my Microsoft account, that's connected to like a bunch of production stuff I have on Azure. And now I'm locked out of my account. And I have two-factor auth on it and everything. But I guess Microsoft is saying, oh, someone was trying to log in, so they kind of locked me out and I'm trying to get back in. But on days like this, I have to ensure that the passion and what I'm really trying to do basically, transcends all of that. So in every field, it doesn't matter whether it's AI or not. Like, if you're not passionate, you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna live through to really get down into the nitty-gritty. You're gonna have bugs that are gonna last for days on end. I've had bugs lasted over a week before I discovered a fix. Like it's been a journey. So really, really dial into passion, and then most importantly, like ensure that you marry passion with profit, because we're living in an age now where a lot of people who aren't passionate are making a lot of money, and it's always that way. Because the people who are passionate are always down in the trenches, just enjoying the technology. But if the people who are passionate had more resources, the world would be a better place. That's what I think. Like, so nerds need to learn how to sell, and that's why I've been learning to sell. Like, I am way too brilliant to not have money, to really live a comfy life, and I shouldn't be at the mercy of a salary, of trying to communicate my value to someone else. When you're a business person, you own a business, the sky is the limit. Like, people can buy every day and you will be fine. So like Joyful now has subscribers from Norway, New Zealand, US, Jamaica. Like people from all across the globe can decide to pay me if they want. And then most importantly, like, resilience. You have to get up every day no matter what. Even when you don't feel like putting in the effort, you have to put it in if you want the result. And I think that's the thing I have to say to like a lot of people. Like a lot of the successes I've had over the years, it did not come easy. Trust me. And there are things I lost. Like, I feel like I could have been a more social person to some extent. I do socialize a lot, but I spend a lot of time on my craft, and I don't regret it. It's just you have to make a decision. Do you really, really want to be good at this stuff? Do you really want to, set yourself apart? But most importantly, don't sacrifice self. So that's the reason why I'm so committed to the gym. I've been training for over 8 years. When I just started my career, I had a scare where I put on like 20 pounds in like 2 months. Because I was just like coding and eating and everything. I was just like, what the hell? And I was having headaches, and I started the gym, and within a week of being at the gym, the headaches went. So I told my trainer, and he was just like, yo, you are unfit, bro. Like, you can't sit at the computer all day. Like, if you do this, you're not going to last long in this industry. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just, and then I'm an engineer, so I like the gym. Like, you can study the body parts and all the movements and create structured programs, and it's a whole science. So I love the gym because I get to optimize health and fitness outside. So that's the reason why I'm just so obsessed with saunas and ear bikes and training and everything, because that's my way to have a hobby outside of code that also improves my performance,
Exactly. Yeah, I like how with you it kind of funnels back to like the coding. Like you're using like the fitness in order to better yourself so you can code for even longer.
Exactly. And also be more confident, because when you have muscles, bro, you're more confident to put yourself on. No, see, my life has been much easier, like traveling the world with muscles, bro. Like,
like,
immigration.
People trust me.
People trust me. Like, even in immigration, foreign countries, I get treated better. People think I'm a trainer. People think I'm an athlete. When I go to hotels, people are asking me for feedback. Hey, what proteins do you take? Like, because I'm more confident. So I also had to build my confidence, because growing up, I was just like book smart, and then people who were more like, into sports, etc., they were more confident. So I was like, okay, how do I get super confident? And when I started lifting weights, I got confident because I went in the gym and it was just like a lot of testosterone everywhere. So I was like, oh, this is a place to build confidence.
It was the breeding ground for confidence.
Yeah, man. It's the breeding ground.
That's what I have to ask you. When you're gonna come and do some striking, add on a bit of the, bit of the grappling, maybe, perhaps.
Brother, what I say? Now you're stuff.
Yeah.
No, so the contact, we can't do the contact.
No, I understand.
Yeah, man. What I actually want to get into, one of my friends invited me to do like just boxing, to learn. So I want to try some other stuff though. So again, this is where, so my ultimate goal, that's the reason why I have to be on this path, is I want to have an AI company that is literally working for me so I can be outside. Meaning I have real freedom. So I can have, say, 2 days of the week that I just want to be in my office coding. And then if I want to spend 4 days just being outside, lifting weights, jogging, whatever, the entire system is still running. And my ultimate goal is to be on my phone in Slack, talking to agents, and agents are working. I only need to fire up a computer when I really need to dive deep into something. But I can have like an iPad that I'll do like further code reviews and such forth. Because as you get older, I want to spend more time, with my son, with my family. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm kind of over like. I think especially because I was able to really become really good at Android. So I literally met like some of the engineers who write the Android SDKs, all the guys who built Cash App, some of the top Android engineers. I've met them at conferences, and so I've risen to the top of Android. Yeah. So I know what it's like to like be at the top of something. So I don't have that. It's like both. Like he has broken all the records.
Yeah,
he just retired. He's fine.
Exactly.
You know,
he's good.
Yeah. So that advice would apply to everybody. You know, but for me, I'm really looking forward to really intelligent agents. Yeah, that's gonna be a sweet part of life.
Joel, this has been an amazing hour.
Yeah, man.
I've learned so much. Like,
yeah, man. Me too.
It's amazing. Where can people find you, man? Where can people find you?
So I'm on LinkedIn. You just search for Joel Dean. I'm on Twitter. You can search for Joel Dean there as well, and same with TikTok.
As well.
Yeah. So yeah, over the next couple of months, I'll primarily just be promoting my app. Like there's no shame in it. Like I'm going to be marketing it because I really think it can help a lot of people. And I also really want to give back to Jamaica in terms of just showcasing Jamaican excellence in any way and inspiring others. So I will be probably doing some AI workshops, eventually some school tours. I want to do some school tours as well eventually with my AI to just showcase to the youth of Jamaica that you can build things. So those are some of the stuff I want to do, just impact. I love making impact.
I would love to be a part of your AI workshops when you're having them, man. Like just
like
let me know, please.
Yeah, man, I'll let you know. Like impact work is also very important, because impact work is what allowed me to basically be at Davos last year, where I basically was in the rooms with Bill Gates and Sam Altman and Mark Benioff of Salesforce, a bunch of different CEOs. Because of impact work, I did separate. So that's one of my other things too. I tried to give back. And sometimes by giving back, you receive. Because you're giving back, you get invited to certain places and opportunities as well. To represent
I'm so huge on that. Like the more value, we spoke about this before. It's like the more value you give, man. It's like
yeah, man. It does get returned, man. And
every time.
One of the things the last thing I'll say before we go, there is a way to engineer luck, right? And you engineer luck by the amount of shots you take, how consistent you are, and your ability to handle no's, your ability to be rejected. I don't see it as rejection. I see it as reflection. I just reflect on that experience. I don't feel rejected. I reflect on what happened and realize, probably this wasn't for me, or probably I'm not ready. Because what I'm ready for, I always get,
Yes.
So like, that's the core thing. But luck can be engineered. Every single time I've prepared, and this is I'm saying this even for myself, because this is my biggest gamble yet, which is being an entrepreneur and putting a product out there. So you can engineer luck by, for example, you are like one of the few people, like probably less than 5 people in this country who are respecting the space of AI in Jamaica. As like, you, like as a person who is really pushing and working hard at the cutting edge. When I scroll past your content, I was just like, oh man, finally somebody knows what you're talking about. Like, this is so refreshing to see. And that's because you're actually putting in the reps.
Right.
You're taking it seriously. You're putting in the reps. And that, your reputation and really honing your craft opens doors for you. And this country is filled with opportunities. Trust me. People think there are no opportunities. That's not true. The opportunities, though, are for those who rise above being normal, who showcase that they have extraordinary skills, and you get extraordinary results. That's
every
it.
Time. Every time.
Yeah, man.
That's wow. Thank you for saying that. Like,
I'm
trying real hard, man. I'm trying real hard.
Yeah, man. Just keep it up, man. Just keep, and have fun. Yo, tech is fun. It's the best industry. It's so fun. Like, AI just make this thing a game, right?
Like
you just need to survive. That's it. Just survive to see the capabilities.
It's so like, I've had so much side project ideas in my mind for so long that I couldn't execute on because I was like, it would take so long to develop. And it's like, no, like I now have a website. I now have like a completely automated blog. All of a sudden, I have content going out every day. All of a sudden, it's like I'm 10xing so quickly, and this is and to think that this is as bad as the models are gonna be. And two, this is I haven't even tapped into like other types of automation, right? So
and as you get better and better, and as you build, and that's the reason why I'm saying ensure that you explore the entrepreneurship side of things, creating useful things, because then you start to tap into other layers of the hierarchy that will require automation. But yeah, man, let's have a part 2 one of these days.
Yes,
probably in a couple of months we can have a part 2.
Part 2 when Joyful has the voice app feature, and my app is out by then too.
Yeah, man.
Joe, thank you so much for being on.
All right, yeah, man. Blessings.
Yeah,
man. Good chat. All right, cheers.
You take care.
Yeah, man. All right.